On a rain-soaked Sunday afternoon in Kumishi, we say good afternoon and welcome along to the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open final round from the Gulfstone County Son, as we have gone through the opening 36 holes of the competition. We have reached this Sunday, and with the skies and heavens opened, we look to spend the next two and a half hours, perhaps even longer, to see if anyone can reel in and prevent E.J. Young from taking home the title in event number 7 of the season, with 800 million won up for a split this afternoon. We started with 132 players. We cut it down yesterday to 67, and as we step out onto the course and see the first few shots of this championship Sunday, we see a 2-stroke deficit. In fact, 8 players within 3 shots of the title. Park Young, who is 1 under halfway through her round, finding it difficult, like many, to try and go low today. Interesting story developing, which should come as a surprise to absolutely no one on a Sunday, that we haven't seen it in some time. One of the absolute elite players of the last half-decade on the KLPGA Tour, Peng Min-ji, up 26 positions into the top 10. And from the rough at 9, we have Park Ji-young. Of course, with the conditions, playing a very complicated golf course today. 18 degrees, raining, 3.7 meters per second. The roughs are heavy. The greens are quick, but certainly attackable, as the gallery in attendance today, through as much shelter as they can possibly find, have gathered. See who will take home the title of this competition. An Yumin, she is 3rd shot on the after her relatively quiet round of 72 yesterday. Four-way battle for that runner-up position. 3 strokes separating herself in the lead, and it's a good day to take as much shelter as you can under the poncho. Next shot to go on and get as close to the pin as Bob Young. ENG Young, she is 2 under today, halfway through. After posting a 2 under round of 70 yesterday, is 68 in the opener. She has 3 strokes that separates her from the lead of the 67 players who made the cut. Park Ji-young, that number down to just 2, chipping with her 3rd. And while the fairways, the rough, they are slick, of course, with all the rain that has fallen. Greens will also play a bit more cushioned. and the pins can be attacked. Kim Chae-hee, who started the day in second, finds herself still at that mark, a 68, 4 under par yesterday. She is off and underway. That is Park Young-young, who started quietly on Friday, the 2 under round. Yesterday she goes 5 under. So far today, however, it's on the quieter side of the spectrum. She comes that close to an eagle. She finds a third birdie, however, with that simple tap-in putt to move within 2. And the putt for birdie for Hung Yoo-min. The patented Sunday fist bump and 2 birdies consecutively now, bogey-free through 10, and also just a couple of strokes back. The gallery swells, increases in numbers. An hour later, starting to feel the field on her heels, and she overhits about a 5-foot putt. And relinquishes the opportunity. She goes out with the 35, the only birdie coming on hole number 2. After just seeing Lee Jae-young miss Park Ji-young. She can get up into the double digits here. The break is right to left, and no challenge thrown her way. She slips that inside and has back-to-back birdies at the turn, out with a 33. And the distance between she and the top is just 1 stroke with 9 to play. So the soothing sound of the rain and the conditions in this championship Sunday that it is leading towards, well, they can be heard from each and every corner of this Gulf Zone County Soon Sun facility. And it will all come down to these final 9 holes on the day. And we conclude the front with a par 5. We begin the back with 1 as well. 492 meters, 538 yards. And for a course with some relatively wide fairways, a couple on the more narrow side of the scale to begin here. Second shots, that should leave on average 60 to 80 meters between the front of the green and the pin, with a bunker to the back left and a bunker to the front guarding. A green that is 31 yards in depth. The pin today, it is 8 yards from the back and 6 yards from its right side. Young, she is unable to find the fairway with her first shot, and certainly conditions on Sunday are always more punishing when your driver is anywhere but in the fairway. And for Park Ji-young, it will make her opportunity to move level on the first hole of the back nine a bit more difficult. Park Ji-young, who parred here on Thursday, a birdie yesterday. Tees off next. And Im Jin-young from 141 meters, her approach shot. She will just trickle through the fringe to the front, but will leave herself with a long putt forthcoming. And playing driver at the end. Jae-young to the left side of the fairway. And will begin their march down the par 5. .104 for Kim Chae-hee, who looks slightly dismayed as she watches that be short and be right. Avoids the worst of the rough, but cannot escape the fringe. Sung Yu Min's approach at 11 with a 52-degree wedge. Stays in the front third of the green, but she is the furthest from the pin out of this trio.
잠시만 멈춰주세요.
Well, having gone missed into the first cut of rough, Park Ji-young forced to play a bit of a stronger club, and with the hybrid she picks her way diagonally back into the fairway. And Kim Chae-hee rolling this back to about 6 feet away. And will be focused on that par save opportunity next. 260 for Lee Jeong playing her second. Able to deliver with a hybrid shot that clears Park Ji-young by a wide margin, and that will leave Park Young-young. The furthest off the tee, and the closest to the pin through 2 shots. As Park Young-young starts to ratchet up the intensity. One of the many values of playing in the featured group on a Sunday is you always know immediately what needs to be done and where you are versus the leader. A difficult one for Im Jin-young, who had lots and lots of ground to make up. Standing over a downhill putt, the slightest of taps to get it started. But it had started on the wrong line, and for Hung Yoo-min, it takes a second touch of the putter in that 10-second window, and she unable to progress. Yoon Mi-nam, meanwhile, even at the turn, looking to get, back up to 8 under par for the first time since hole number 4. She had a nice little sequence at 3 and 4, getting as high as 9 under before crashing down to earth a little bit with bogeys at 5 and 9. She wasn't standing over the ball with a ton of confidence, and that would be why she left herself with that 6-7 footer. And she starts the back 9 just as she had done the front with a bogey. Now finds herself trailing by 4. Kim Chae-hee looking to avoid a bogey here as well at 10. From above the pin, a par save that she converts on. Seol, the low amateur still. A bogey-free round through 11 at this point, up onto the podium at this point in the round. For Park Ji-young at 115. Slightly left of center in the fairway and goes all the way to pin high. Really well gauged and well struck in the center face of that wedge. She has been striking the ball with much more consistency these last 27 holes or so, and finding that perfect balance of accuracy and power. Less than 100 meters away as she looks to go all the way through and get to the back, but she doesn't have the distance in flight to prevent that backspin from taking her closer to the front. For Kim Chae-hee, bounce back time on a hole that she bogeyed in round number 2. Plays a faded drive into the fairway. Kim Min-sol now. The amateur player who is coming off of a tied for 28th finish on the Dream Tour. Already a few wonderful results in the 2024 season, including a tie for 8th finish at the Tucson ENC Weave Championship.
멈춰주세요.
Just a bit too long. AJ Young, our leader, sends that rolling past the pin, and you have to wonder if she's starting to feel a bit of this pressure. .7. And that is how many meters remain for Park Young. Needs it to drift back. But that gradual and consistent break takes her past, and 10 proves to be a bit of a mystifying hole for the featured group. And this is how it looked and how close it came. Also a really good representation of just how uphill, in fact, that putt truly was at the end. The moment belongs to Park Ji-young. And now a co-leader with 3 birdies on the bounce, playing this par 5 10th absolutely brilliantly, and the door was left open for her, and she burst through it as she seeks out another win this season. Suddenly the pressure ratchets up to a new level for E.J. Young, who is sharing the leads, but will relinquish it if she doesn't have a 3rd straight par on hole number 10. Anything but straightforward, lots of break to the putts, and enough that it complicates and plants more than a 1 seed of doubt. E.J. Young has missed. She will drop the stroke, and she will drop out of the lead, swapping spots with Park Ji-young, the first square on her scorecard today. Wrong, you mean able to shed a layer, as it looks like the rain is at least slowing down, if not starting to disappear. There's still plenty of it in the forecast over the course of the next few hours, but the drastic change in terms of the playability of the course has already been made. Kim Jae-hee now in the chasing pack of Park Ji-young. Well, that is an absolutely beautiful setup shot for Yoon Mi-na, who started to fade from contention and might have just thrust herself back into the spotlight. Well, the person that Park Young chases has changed, but the fact that she has quietly gone about her business and brought herself up after many would be right to wonder just how involved Park Young would be on Sunday. He's pushed all the way to the top. Maybe, just maybe, she can try and find a positive from dropping out of the top spot, in that the pressure, at least momentarily, is off her shoulders. On 11, 4.1 meters between Kim Jae-hee and her target of a birdie to go double digits under par. She needed that one, Kim Jae-hee. To 12. Just on the front of the green, this is Hung Yoo-min, uphill and plenty of left to right break. It'll move from the outside to the inside of the screen from our perspective. Will it be on line? Not quite, and maybe a piece of debris takes away any chance of it going. is one that will lead to many a question and many a thought racing through the mind as a short putt has gone missed. Kimin Seoul, she lips out. That looked really, really promising, but this is the area especially that can be exploited. The short game, if it can be brave and confident, well, it can be combined with the soft greens and allow for those moments where the attacking quality can shine through. She's gone right down the extreme left side of the fairway. She's going for the left green, and she goes to the back left corner. So that pattern persists. She can pitch or she can chip from the fringe next to Pak Young Young. Approach is another really well executed shot from Pak Ji-young, which should come as absolutely no surprise for us. She was on the podium last week at the Major Championship with a 65 in the final round, and Super Sunday looks like it might be happening again. Kimin Seoul on the blocks, and just about an ace. The fact she's able to keep that composure as she nearly put in another hole-in-one on hole 13. And she lips around 180 degrees and back to the other side. And for Hung Yu-min, she tries to follow suit. She also plays that really well off the front fringe and takes herself to a 5-foot putt for birdie. That was the roar from the near ace for Kim Min Sol as Kim Chae-hee's drive settles into the fairway. Silence requested by Park Young-kyung's team. From the back corner. The break comes in now. Look at this. It's got a chance. So Park Young-kyung, she taps in. And she comes that close to moving into joint second with this young woman right here. There she goes. Thought she had reclaimed it. She does a 270 loop around the hole and out the other side. So now the advantage can be stretched.
들어가겠습니다.
Park Ji-young to make it 2. And up she goes. And starting to break free. 4 birdies on the bounce. 12 under par. And as she makes her way to the next tee, it is becoming increasingly apparent that this is her tournament to lose. Kim Min Sol, she goes 2 double digits as well. She nearly finds that ace, her 4th birdie of the day. And Hung Yoo-min. She gets back on her birdieing form. Number 4 today, 2 back. And rewarded for a really strongly played tee shot as she moves into a tie for 2nd position. Well, the pace of play through the first 45 minutes of our final round coverage here at Gulf Zone County Sun has been quick and showing no signs of slowing down.
많이 여기다 세우니까
And speaking of no signs of slowing down, the rain continues to pelt the players, the gallery, and the course. KLPGA, our defending champion. Finds herself 11 back. Park Ji-young, the winner of the Mediheal Hangugo Boat Championship, on for her third podium, if not second win in the last 3 major championships. We'll take a quick pause as you get the aerial tour of number 12 with plenty more action to be had in the 10th 1991 Kyochon Ladies Open.
올라가겠습니다. 잠시만 멈춰주세요.
Our featured group continues to be at the top of the course. Final tee shots on hole number 12, this 354-meter par 4. They are right in the heart of this back 9. And the second of 5 par 4s, of course, 5 of them coming in a 6-hole window. Let's revisit the near ace for Kim Min-sol. Could not land it any better. And it reminds us why the hole-in-ones that do fall, like we had seen from Yun-Soo yesterday, are so special. You could accomplish everything in this sport and still never have one of those by the time you call it quits on your career. Kim Min-sol, the amateur who has done so much in her career already before turning pro, and just about had one of those lifelong memories. That's how you mean it played her tee shot at the last. And we see more birdies starting to drop, and that will give a big boost to the back nine push for Kim Chae here. Third birdie of the day to finally reach double digits under par from a long way off. And from every angle, the elation she's thrown herself truly back into contention. You mean heads to the back of the green as she looks for back-to-back birdies.
빨리 와주세요. 앞에 빨리 와주세요. 빨리 오세요. 이쪽으로 빨리 오세요. 아니 오세요. 이쪽으로 오시라고요. 감사합니다.
확실하게 조금은 있죠. 확실한데?
Bak Jiang and the approach played. She's just so hard to contend with when she is locked in at the level that we currently find her. And Lee Jae-young unable to remain on the green as she's flown to the back. Kim Chae-hee on 13 next. It is a 9-iron. That's always an ominous zoom out reveal. All three to the left and Park Yang-young to the sand. Now Hung Min on 14. Gonna need a little bit extra. She tries to roll this up the hill on the line and off by a fraction. Just not starting the putt enough to the outside right. And there will be nothing to show for it with a par secured. Kim Min-sol, she goes down the same path, missing to the inside.
플레이한다. 플레이합니다.
Park Yang-young looking for the sand save, the first shot to get back up onto the green.
제가 더 넣어.
잠시만 멈춰주세요 앞에. 네, 멈춰주세요.
This is Bak Jeong coming down from the fringe. The break doesn't begin until she's level with the hole. And the run of birdies was not going to continue all the way through to the 18th, of course. She can handle a par or two. Long downhill putt. She inches closer with every revolution of the golf ball. And we'll have another downhill putt to play. Kim Jae-hee as she marks off.
안녕하십니까.
Now Jae-young, also from the fringe, she likes to putt downhill. She does really well controlling the speed. It'll be about 4 feet between she and her par. Now Bak Jeong to keep herself really in the hunt. Facing a huge moment. She has this right to left breaking putt. Straightens out immediately. And falls for the par. Keeps her within 3 as they head to the par 3 next.
플레이하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요. 플레이하겠습니다.
Well, pars across the board. Now Kim Jae-hee in the same boat, but she's missed hers. That was an unexpected result It will be a disappointing one to ponder over. On the way to 14.
자, 불러야겠습니다.
Crowd was ready to erupt. Perhaps quite fortunate, Park Yang, that the rain continues to fall, because otherwise that might have taken a much bigger hop towards the back. The pressure is slightly off on Yumin. She continues to go about her business and reel in the leaders at the top. AJ Young, the last at 13. It's about 5 yards beyond the hole and about a 5-meter putt now as it ends. Coming back. Well, 2:11 local time in Kumishi, and as we prepare for a quick rest and reset, an updated look at the scoreboard. Park Ji-young at 2-stroke advantage over Hung Yoo-min, Kim Min-so the amateur, and Lee Jae-young at 10 under. Kim Chae-hee, Park Young-young -9 respectively. Chun Ye-sung and Yoon Mi-na, they bring up the bottom of page 1 of the leaderboard. It should be a wonderful race to the finish, and the question is an easy one. Can anyone catch or keep pace with Park Ji-young leading this 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open? Stay with us. We thank you for being with us for Championship Sunday at Gulf Zone County's Sun. Park Young very much in this title fight, settles for a par. And all eyes on EJ Young. Her look at birdie on the par 3. Downhill on the finest of lines, and she played it safe. Played it slow. And it will not influence the score either way. She's right back up into the birdie column. Just one hole removed from 4 in a row. She starts her next streak and starts to truly break away. 5 holes remaining, a 3-stroke advantage. It's time for Yumin and many others is starting to be the greatest enemy. Especially being a couple groups later with Kim Seol. Disappointing for Park Young. Shakes the water off. And we will waste no time. Beginning 14. And disappearing down the left. See if she's able to stay in the fairway or not in just a few short minutes' time here. Also joining Park Young down that side of the fairway. Well, it is true what was said earlier, how it is such an advantage to be playing in the same group as the players you're battling. When you see them on flames and you're not able to make the same amount of shots, it can also be daunting. And that likely is a bit of the case for Park Young and Lee Jae-young now, who are watching Park Jae-young run away with the advantage here. On this rainy Sunday at the Gulf Zone County Sun, we will have more of the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open on the other side of a quick break. by hole, the picture of the true contenders becomes clearer. Kim Jae-hee, she's not out of it yet. She's still very much on for a big result, but the only one in a steady run of form with birdies that seem to be falling as often as the raindrops from the sky. It is Bak Jiyoung. She was off to the right with her drive on 14, playing 8 iron. Looking to find the left side of the green and doing everything, but being perhaps a little bit deeper and closer to the rear. You mean the comeback quest has to start somewhere, of course. Our next shot is a good one. As we reach the bottom of the clock, 2:30 local time in Gyeongsangbuk-do. Of course, the race to the WeMix Championship and the points will be updated by the end of the round today. On the way to 500,000 WeMix coins and 90,000 for the winner. For the top 10 by season's end. $20 million Korean won as well for the tour winner this season. And a monthly MVP who will take home an additional $1 million each and every month. Lee Jung-min after the major win last week, up 11 spots. Chung Yoon-ji held firm in second. Bak Yeong-gyung down a couple of spots. She had been the leader in the race to the WeMix Championship. Bak Jiyoung and Bang Shin-shil. Lee Jung-min, she failed to make the cut this week following that major championship title. Chung Yoon-ji, a quiet week, tied for 28th with a 72 today. And on 14, Lee Jae-young shortchanges it slightly from the fringe. And Kim Jae-hee with her 8 iron. She's just off the fairway to the right, playing from the rough. And no doubt that had an impact on her ability to strike the ball as firmly and as purely as she needed to get to the green. Speed was certainly not the issue on the putt. She's always going to reach, but back struck too firm. And we go to 16. Min Sol with a half swing from 36 meters, but couldn't get it to sit down. The gallery recognizing quickly that the putt needed to pick up the pace if it was going to have a chance to go. And the touch from around the green is really well played, excuse me. Young in with the par. Kim Min-sol, that is absolutely magic. She has been absolutely brilliant today. 5 birdies, and well, we know for a fact she's the low amateur for the competition, but she has eyes on perhaps that first career victory. The way she's playing it has been a sight to behold. This stage in the tournament, Park Ji-young can par out and likely still have done enough, with birdies being a luxury. Four holes remaining. The advantage is down to 2. But her closest challenger only has 2 holes to play. And you mean if she wants back in this race, she needs to sit there, drain this putt. The weight was there, the direction was not, as she walks by and gives it one final tap.
들어가겠습니다.
She did the hardest part by getting up and getting it close, but for Kim Chae-hee, there is no up and down to avoid a drop.
자, 플레이하겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Some 20 minutes ago, Kim Min-sol came that close to adding yet another ace to this tournament. I mean, if she had to give her the option, I think she'd happily take the Mercedes. An absolute stunner, the avant-garde. See how she fares here. Further than the car, we can absolutely say that she wants to keep on pushing. She is currently the 4th ranked amateur golfer in the entire world. And she is looking for career best. She's been brilliant today. The only one to even plant a seed of doubt in the mind of Park Ji-young, who continues to lead the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open. We will head to par 4 15th when we return to Gulf Zone County, Sunsan. pick our coverage back up. Championship Sunday on 15. Young. Well, she's able to reach the green from the right side of the fairway, but needed to stay on the right side of the putting surface as well. And now for Park Ji-young, the leader in the rough, hasn't negatively affected her too much today when she's found these spots, but she's well left here and short. And the best of the lot, just about pin high. Park Ji-young into a good spot up onto the green. Tiny chip. Didn't need much on it. You mean she essentially took the birdie off the table by being short on 17. It's 2.0 on the nose. With 2 holes to play. Is to move within 1 of the lead. And let's just watch that go. Missed to the right by the slightest of margins. So now she needs a bogey at the last and some help. Park Ji-young with a lot of green to cover and just about put this competition to bed if it wasn't already. When you consider the fact she's on for her best round of the tournament, the fact that she has not bogeyed since hole number 11 in the opening round. Her play around the green has been as nice as just about everything else in her game. As we go to 16, 54 degrees, Kim Chae-hee in a sloping fairway. She'll go to the left fringe just in front of fans lining the cart path. You mean is down with the par here. Takes two for Park Hyung-young. She's just about out of time. But we remind ourselves of some unbelievably consistent golf. She just does not take a week off. Consider 2024 for her up until now. She's been in the top 25 every single week. Third in the points, fourth lowest score on average. Park Jung, this victory might be enough to propel her back inside the top 40 in the world. She's been climbing. She's all but assured her third straight podium in the event she has contested on the LPGA Tour of Korea. And she might be on for her second win in a month. Jeong to hang on to 10 under. And an eventful short putt as it should be. As Kim Min-sol gets underway at 18. Park Jung has the honor on the final par 4 of the day. Birdie here yesterday and a par on Friday. That's borderline sliced slightly if she finds the rough. Could be quite a perilous lie. We'll find out just how difficult it will be in a few minutes. The 16th green is where our featured and final group is headed. Kim Chae-hee. Essentially the fringe. I've been trying to get to 2 under for the day. It's just been a quiet one. And bogeys at 13 and 15 have brought her out of the top 5 and frankly out of contention. And Ri Jeong, a birdie yesterday on 16 as she tries to pull this from right to left in the fairway. As the hole made its turn towards the green, she will be slightly long and see that ball sit in the tall grass. Not much in terms of changes. The late stages of this Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open, a 10th anniversary tournament that is feeling more and more by the shot and by the minute that Park Ji-young will be winning for a second time in 2024. But she did miss the fairway on 16. We'll check in with her lie when we return. With each shot, Park Jiang gets closer to her title, and with each shot, Park Yang looks to be settling into another top 5 finish. A birdie or two would propel her back onto the podium, where EJ Young currently finds herself, though she is down 2 spots today. She is the only player in the top 15 who is yet to be under par for the round. Looks like she will be staying at even, barring some kind of beautiful birdie, which we can't rule out. And on 18 for Kim Min Sol, back into the fairway. She's able to return. And on the par 3, Kim Jae-hee skips it, but doesn't get the bounce and roll to reach the green. And getting closer to the finish line in event number 7 of this season. And next week, we will head to Suwon for the 2024 NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship, another 3-round affair. It's starting to seem likely that Park Ji-young will be heading into that tournament as a 2-time champ in 2024. It would be the 9th win of her career. She's putting from the fringe and working that to about 5 feet short. Well, she was a 3-time winner in 2023, 2-time runner-up as well. And she would be well on her way to matching or surpassing that career best with the win here today. And speaking of career best for Kim Min Sol, and the brilliant golf she has played, she will likely be on the podium. It would be the first podium in her senior career, and it would improve upon her tied for 4th finish and last year's Korea Women's Open Golf Championship. And Lee Jae-eun, she came into the week with aspirations of the win, of course, but she's on her way for her 2nd podium of 2024. She's quietly gone about her business. Chun Ye-sung, it was her 71 yesterday that really took her out of the favorites conversation heading into today. The conversation that Park Yang is in just about every week. This birdie take her into a share of 3rd position, and she goes 270 degrees around the hole and stops out on its left. So she'll tap in and settle for another par. closer to the end. 53 down now. You mean it is hole 54. A pitch straight up in the air as it finally drops back into sight. It just about slides out of frame. That's 5-meter putt or so for a birdie to end the day. Down to the final two. The advantage remains at 2, though that could change with Kim Min-sol in the next few moments here. And all but assure at least joint runner-up, but the birdie breaks right. Ready to conclude just yet. She marks off. And for Hung Yumin, 66 in the opening round, and she looked like she was going to be a force to be reckoned with this weekend. An even par day yesterday of a 72. And this for a 67. But also struggling to get the job done on 18. So she'll tap in to finish 10 under for the competition. It is currently tied for third. A bogey-free round today. Just had those 3 yesterday that ultimately might be the difference for her. And Kim Min-sol, a career best. Second place, she is assured a spot on the podium for the first time, and that one ups her performance at last year's Korea Women's Open Golf Championship. She was excellent today. Excellent all week long, and I think it goes without saying, but can officially declare her as the low emitter in the competition this week. Park Jung teeing off on 17, and she's had a few missed tee shots in these last handful of holes. She is certainly in a position now to even pick up a bogey in one of the final few. And the lead looks untouchable. Jung Ye-sung, it is a birdie to end a day of a 72 under par. She was the runner-up Chun Ye-sung last week at the Chris F&C 46 KLPGA Championship. It's her best result of the season, but what this means is with that score, it'll be her 4th top 10. And that is a little bit of magic. Perfectly onto the fringe. As our feature group makes their way down to the green, we see more rounds concluded and 4 players in the top 8 still waiting to finalize their classification here at the Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open as Park Ji-young and company cross the bridge. We will step aside and come back with more. The putts on 17, and our leader has a little bit of an interesting situation that we will investigate when we return. So not as poor a lie as originally feared for Park Ji-young, as she is sat maybe a yard or two beneath the green. She's going to be able to get up and down with no difficulty whatsoever for her par. One to play to make it official. Kim Jae-hee on number 18. Playing her second and working closer to the end of her round. And Park Young next from the corner. Judge that putt well. So she will look to head to 18 with the par. 18 where we find you, Mina, 212 with her second. Jae Young for birdie, the lone wolf in the group to do so. It is her first birdie since the second hole of the day. It comes at the second to last and moves her into a share of second. And down to one to play. Another case seemingly of what could have been type of situation. Take nothing away from more strong play to be right in the thick of the action on Sunday. A little bit short of the approach at 18. First tee shot is away. And now Kim Chae-hee about half a kilometer away. Settles on this approach from the left side of the fairway, wanting to go and stay close to the front. And I'd say that is a resounding mission accomplished. Well, saving one of her best for last. Technically, second to last. She'll have a tap-in birdie on a really nice up, and we can bear witness to Jung's final drive of the day. A hole she birdied yesterday. Well, just about fully complete, all 54 holes. Kim Chae-hee, she can move into a share of fifth with Park Young unless there is a birdie for the latter. AJ Young, she can take the outright second position from Kim Min-sol, the amateur, with a birdie the last as well. Park Ji-young, as long as she doesn't double bogey, she's guaranteed at least a playoff, but certainly think we know the result that is just around the corner will be a monumental occasion for our dominant leader. Kim Chae-hee also trying to get into the top five with a birdie after a nice approach to clear Chun Ye-sung at 8 under par. When we come back, the final shots of the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open here on the LPGA Tour of Korea. finally returned from commercial break with a very thrilling finish. It is not to be, as the ball just about hovers over the edge of the hole. So no final birdie, but an exciting way to conclude the day for Yoon Mi-na. Stays in the top 10 despite 3 bogeys in the final round, a +1. Bringing the action right into the line of sight for the gallery. Yoon Mi-na, that is now back-to-back top 10 finishes on the KLPGA Tour. Kim Jae-hee, this to go to 9 under, tied for 5th, looks good. And she gets it there. A 70, the highest round of her week. Couple of bogeys on the back 9 to take her out of a runner-up finish. She's inside the top 10 once again after winning the opening event of the season and finishing tied for 9th at the next St. 9 Masters. Another nice haul of points for Park Young-kyung, who should be able to swap spots with Chung Yoon-ji and take over 2nd position. Im Jin-young, this should be little more than a formality. It would get her to even par, or under par, excuse me, for the day. She's even right now, and she does shoot a 71. Her best of the season by some margin, tied for 42nd, had been her mark before from the Tucson ENC Weave Championship, and a tied for 50th finish last week at the major. And more than just the best finish of the season for Im Jin-young, the best results since she finished tied for 6th at the Taewonia MBN Ladies Open in August of 2022. Park Ji-young is away, and the setup shots will be the next we see. It was 92 meters out for E.J. Young from the rough. Unfortunately for her, she was off left, and she's short left after the approach as well. .83 for Pak Young Kyung in the fairway. A really good opportunity to go pin seeking here. Perfect lie for it. Perfect pin placement as well. And that is mission accomplished now. She needs that putt to go to double digits under par. Last approach shot of the day. And Pak Ji-young will go just about pin high and will have a chance for one more birdie. She has 3 putts to win it. And the gallery, as is one of the best traditions on the KLPGA Tour, will walk the featured group to the 18th green as their arrivals are announced.
한 명 한 명 소개해드릴 때마다 우리 선수들에게 큰 응원의 박수 부탁드립니다. 여러분, 이재영 프로입니다. 박현경 프로입니다. 박지영 프로입니다.
Let's see E.J. Young to join her colleagues on the green. A little pitch and roll. And should have minimal difficulty with that putt for par. This is far from her first time in a position to close out a tournament. Certainly not this year. She has been marvelous all week long. She's been marvelous all season long, it feels like. Park Young, just about. So no dramatic final birdie to end it. 9 holes, 9 pars on the back 9. She went out with a 34. She finishes tied for 5th in this week's competition. Well, she's about to be 144 million wealthier. Just a matter of what will the score be? 13 under or 14 under. It'll be 13. It's not her first, but the wins, they never get any less special. She'll mark off to take the ovation. Final preparation. It's a putt to sustain a share of runner-up. For her second podium and best results of the year. AJ Young as her par, 11 under is confirmed. Birdies at 2 and 17, a bogey at 10, and now Park Ji-young to make it official. The champion of the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open, with a round of 66 and remarkably 54 holes played, only 2 bogeys, and despite being showered by the skies for pretty much the entire round, the water bottles and the flower petals accompany another title for Park Ji-young.
나한테 물어봐. 네? 저희요?
What an unbelievable run of form she is on. Since April 14th, 2 wins and a podium finish at a major, and her second of 2024. And for the 3 Corrit sponsored athletes, a really nice combined showing for them as well.
네.
Well, the navy blue carpet is being rolled out. As Park Ji-young gets some water out of her ears. She's going to be very excited to use that towel in a moment. It's been a damp day, but nothing to dampen her mood as she has won for a 9th career time. Have you been around the LPGA Tour of Korea for a while? You know the drill at this point. The scorecards need to be signed. The post-round interview with Park Ji-young will be just around the corner as well. We'll go through the final round highlights and then the awards presentation. That's still to come as Park Ji-young has won the 10th Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open with a score of 13 under par. It is a 2-stroke win over Kim Min-sol and Lee Jae-young. It was 1 stroke away from matching Cho Ae-yeon's total from 2022 with a 14 under. Great to see her out to help congratulate her teammate here. And while the sun has gone away for the weekend, we were spoiled with 2 beautiful days, Friday and Saturday. And as this Sunday draws to a close, the leaderboard, well, it is now official. Rounding out the top 5, Hung Yoo-min with a 68 today, 10 under par for 4th. Park Young-young and Kim Chae-hee, they share 5th at 9 under. Chun Ye-sung a 70 for an 8 under combined tournament score. Park Ju-young shoots a 69 to share 8th position. And 7 under par. Same score as Uni now,
네,
who
안녕하세요.
is back on the podium again. And back in the winner's circle, Park Ji-young.
감사합니다. 일단 제가 솔직히 오늘은 우승할 거라고 정말 상상도 못했고 예상하지 못했는데 또 이렇게 값진 우승을 할 수 있게 되어서 너무나 기쁘고요. 사실 비가 오는 날 그렇게 잘 못 치는데 오늘은 굉장히 또 감이 좋았고 또 그렇게 되다 보니까 또 우승까지 할 수 있게 되어서 너무나 기쁩니다. 네. 사실 딱히 없고요. 오늘도 세타차이기도 하고 이지영 선수가 굉장히 또 감이 좋아 보였고 또 오늘 비가 와서 사실 마음 내려놓고 올라가서 뭐 먹지 뭐 맛있는 거 뭐 먹을까라고 생각하고 플레이를 했는데 또 굉장히 또 4홀 연속 버디라는 것도 나오고 또 감이 좋아서 네 너무나 행복해요 지금. 저 사실 아까부터 계속 햄버거가 먹고 싶어가지고 아마 올라가는 길에 햄버거를 사서 먹을 것 같아요. 솔직히 선두로 선두로 마지막 라운드를 들어갈 때는 조금 이제 선두 자리에서 계속 지키고 싶다라는 또 생각도 들고 좀 더 힘이 든 것 같은데요. 오늘은 또 추격하는 입장으로서 조금 더 마음 편하게 플레이를 하다 보니까 네, 이렇게 또 좋은 결과까지 나온 것 같아요. 사실 퍼팅도 굉장히 중요한데 드라이버 티샷이 되게 페어웨이 키핑을 되게 잘 해야 된다라고 생각을 했는데요. 사실 오늘 페어웨이 잘 많이 안 들어가서 조금 불안했는데 그래도 다행히 세컨샷이 좋았고 또 웨지샷도 좋아서 또 네, 별 실수 없이 잘 됐던 것 같아요. 일단 비거리가 늘어서 조금 더 수월하게 플레이를 할 수 있는 것 같고요. 조금 더 저만의 골프 또 제가 어떻게 하면 잘할 수 있는지를 확실하게 조금 더 알게 되다 보니까 좀 예전보다는 좀 더 큰 실수 없이 계속해서 좀 좋은 흐름을 잘 타고 가고 있는 것 같아요. 네. 음, 네. 저의 빈스윙 루틴을 보시면 아시겠지만은 제가 굉장히 이제 스쿼트 자세를 많이 다른 선수들에 비해서 과하게 하잖아요. 좀 그렇게 좀 느낌만 과하게 하더라도 좀 칠 때 지면 발력을 좀 더 잘 쓸 수 있게 되어서 좀 비거리의 향상에 좀 도움이 많이 되는 것 같아요. 네. 제가 귀여운 뽀짝이라는 별명을 솔직히 제 입으로 약간 담기 좀 그런데요. 네. 저는 제 자신이 귀엽다고 생각하지 않는데 그래도 팬분들께서 귀엽게 봐주셔서 너무나 감사드리고요. 또 이렇게 궂은 날씨에도 많은 응원해 주시고 또 이렇게 찾아와 주셔서 너무나 감사드리고요. 앞으로 더 열심히 해서 좋은 모습 많이 보여드리겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다.
Well, the final preparations for the award ceremony are being made as we speak. So let's use this opportunity to go through the Championship Sunday highlights. It was a wet, rainy day from the jump after 2 days of nothing but sun and warm temps. Kim Min-sol, the low amateur of this competition, started well and continued to find birdies left and right on the way to one of the best scores of the entire day. Peng Min-ji the same with a 67. Ko Chi-yu also at that marker, but of course, as we well know, the day belonged to Park Ji-young, who on hole at number 8 was able to pick up her second birdie, closing the gap to 2 towards the top of the field, and really showed no signs of slowing down. Hung Yumin in this final round, she went bogey free. She tried to make a big push after failing to do anything more than even par in round number 2. She had a second birdie just before the turn, going out with a 34. Onto the back 9, Pak Ji-young, excuse me, who has already been able to amass back-to-back birdies, would pick up where she left off on hole number 10. At that point, she took a share of the lead, and she would absolutely refuse to relinquish it. And this is the ultimate turning point of the day. Lee Jae-young, who had her birdie at number 2, all pars since, but then this on 10. A 5-foot putt that she is unable to solve, anticipating more break than the negligible amount that would come. She would burn past the inside edge of the hole and bogey, giving the lead to Pak Ji-young, and from there, the lead would be padded. For Kim Min-sol on the par 3 13th, she nearly had an ace, and in retrospect, had she had the ace, she would have been the runner-up all by herself. In the end, it would be the simplest of tap-ins for birdie to take her at that point to 10 under par. On 11, another absolutely stunning approach from Pak Ji-young, who would then step up and knock down a 4th birdie in a row. To 12 under par she would go. It was a 2-stroke advantage over Lee Jae-young at that point. And then more on the par 3 13th. Not as dramatic a tee shot as Kim Min-sol, but on the green, on the front, to 4 meters to the pin's left. And she would record what would be her 6th and final birdie of the day. She'd be able to waltz in with 5 straight pars on 16. One final birdie for Kim Min-sol. Right to left, long-range putt on the par 4. One of her best of the day, and that's saying something considering how many she had. A 67 in the final round. And onwards to the penultimate hole, the final par 3. Lee Jae-young, she's able to skip it through the cut of rough between the water and the green. Would roll in birdie number 2 for her, which would ensure that she was able to share the runner-up position. And then the formalities on 18. Pak Young, who had not birdied since hole number 9, was trying to get to that 10 under score, and she was just about able to match the 206 strokes of Hung Yoo-min, but it would be 9 straight pars on the way into a 9 under tournament finish, tied for 5th with Kim Chae-hee. Lee Jae-young, she was able to make that runner-up share official, and Pak Ji-young, well, she had 3 putts to win it. She would need 2 as she taps in to win for a 2nd time in the month and a 3rd straight podium. No one on tour in better form than Pak Ji-young, who wins for a 9th time on the LPGA Tour of Korea. And the win in the end, 2 strokes over Kim Min-sol and Lee Jae-young. Gulf Zone County Sunsan has been nothing but a marvelous host with panoramic views, and this one of our favorites. The water features looked a lot more appealing on Friday and Saturday, it must be said. Just one of the many absolutely stunning courses across this great golfing nation. And we've just been given word, as we can see, that we are ready to begin the award ceremony. Let's head back to hole 18.
지난 대회에서는 무려 2번의 홀인원이 나왔는데요. 과연 올해 대회에서도 행운의 주인공이 있을지 궁금하시죠? 네, 뉴스로 이미 접하신 분들 계시겠습니다만 이번 대회 역시 홀인원의 주인공이 있습니다. 홀인원 시상은 교촌 F&B 주식회사의 윤진호 부문장님께서 수고해 주시겠습니다. 특별한 기운이 함께하는 교촌 1991 레이디스 오픈 행운의 홀인원 주인공 2라운드 13번 홀에서 호쾌한 샷으로 홀인원을 기록했습니다. 윤수아 프로입니다. 여러분 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. 윤수아 프로에게는 덕시아나에서 제공하는 고급 침대가 전달되겠습니다. 네. 일생에 한 번 성공하기도 힘들다는 홀인원을 이 대회에서 달성한 윤수아 프로인데요. 다시 한번 축하합니다.
자, 앞에 보세요. 네. 감사합니다.
네, 고맙습니다. 다음은 아마추어 1위 시상이 있겠습니다. 이 상은 본대회에 출전한 아마추어 선수 중 가장 좋은 성적을 기록한 선수에게 전달되는 상입니다. 시상은 한국 여자 프로골프 투어 이영미 대표이사님께서 해주시겠습니다. 쟁쟁한 프로들과의 경쟁 속에서도 당당한 플레이로 아마추어 1위를 기록한 주인공입니다. 축하합니다. 김민솔 선수입니다. 여러분 뜨거운 박수로 맞아주시죠. 아마추어 국가대표 출신의 김민솔 선수, 이번 대회 그야말로 아마추어 돌풍을 일으켰습니다. 이영미 대표이사님께서 트로피와 꽃다발 그리고 시상수표를 전달해 주시고요. 네, 여러분 김민솔 선수 올해 이제 프로 전향을 앞두고 있는데요. 김민솔 선수의 밝은 미래를 위해서 큰 박수로 응원 부탁드립니다.
감사합니다.
네, 그럼 대망의 우승자 시상에 들어가도록 하겠습니다. 제10회 교촌 1991 레이디스 오픈 그 찬란한 우승의 영광의 주인공 1라운드 69타, 2라운드 68타, 3라운드 66타 토탈 13원 던파를 기록한 박지영 프로입니다. 축하합니다. 네, 여러분 제10회 교촌 1991 레이디스 오픈 우승자인 박지영 프로가 지금 페어웨이에서 교촌 위너스 카트를 타고 입장하고 있습니다. 마지막 날 대역전극 무결점 플레이 버디만 6개를 잡아냈는데요. 우승자 박지영 프로를 아낌없는 박수로 맞아주시기 바랍니다. 제10회 교촌 1991 레이디스 오픈 우승자인 박지영 프로에게는 우승 상금 1억 4,400만 원과 트로피, 우승 재킷이 수여되고 부상으로 세라젬 안마 의료기기가 수여되겠습니다. 먼저 교촌 F&B 주식회사 윤진호 부문장님께서 우승 재킷을 입혀주시겠습니다. 네, 오늘 우승 재킷 컬러에 맞춘 것처럼 박지영 프로 의상도 올 블랙으로 아주 멋진 챔피언의 모습입니다. 대회 우승 트로피가 전달이 됐고요.
감사합니다.
네, 다음은 상금 1억 4,400만 원의 시상수표가 전달되겠습니다. 올 시즌 2승을 가장 먼저 달성했습니다. 다음으로 우승자 부상인 세라젬 안마 의료기기 세트를 전달해 주시겠습니다. 네, 이어서 골프존 카운티 매니지먼트 박세아 대표님께서 꽃목걸이를 전달해 주시겠습니다. 네, 박지영 프로의 목에 직접 꽃목걸이를 걸어 주셨습니다.
자, 보세요. 네.
마지막으로 한국 여자 프로골프 투어 이영미 대표이사님께서 꽃다발을 전해 주시겠습니다. 네, 시상 도와주신 내빈 분들께 감사 인사 드립니다. 자, 오늘 박지영 프로 팬들도 굉장히 많이 자리하셨는데요. 우승자 소감 만들어 볼 수 없죠?
And so ends another week on the LPGA Tour of Korea, the 7th event of the season, and a second win for Park Ji-young. The 10th anniversary edition of the Kyochon 1991 Ladies Open, where Kim Min-sol was also recognized as the amateur champion of the tournament, and Yoon Soo-ah presented with her award for her ace in round number 2. Next week, we head northwest to Suwon for the NH Investment and Securities Ladies Championship, another 3-round competition that gets underway Friday, May the 10th, playing on the new course next week. Once again, 132 players in the field. Once again, 800 million won in the purse, and Im Ji-ni, the defending champion, will try and fend off some brilliant play from the cast of characters that have dominated the 2024 season thus far. Park Hyung-kyung, Hang Yoo-min, and of course Park Ji-young, who should be taking over the points title, or the points race, after 7 events this season. It was brilliant to have you along with us. We thank you as always for your viewership, and we look forward to having you back next week when event 8 arrives in Suwon-shi. That's where we will pick things up on Friday. For our entire SBS Golf crew, I've been Adam Jenkins signing off and thanking you for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you again soon on the KLPGA Tour. So long, everyone.